Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Mensa Augustine. In this lesson, you'll be looking at how to solve quadratic inequalities. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. Now, I have 7 solid examples to boost your understanding. Now, let's take the first example. The first example is we have negative 2x squared plus 3x plus 9 is less than 0. Yeah, the symbol is greater than, rather, is greater than 0. So how do you solve this inequality? Let us simplify this quadratic expression first. This one can be done by factorization, simple factors. 9 times this is minus 18, and the factors of minus 18, when you add to get 3, is positive 3 and negative 3. So you have minus 2x squared plus 6x minus 3x plus 9. Let's forget about the inequality sign and put equal to 0 there first. You revisit the inequality sign. So here, minus 2 can go into 6, x can go into x squared. So I have minus 2x, and here it will be left with x minus 3. Then we have minus 3, x minus 3 equal to 0. I have minus 2x minus 3 times x minus 3 equal to 0. Very, very simple as that. So let's check if we are right there. 6x minus 3x is 3. That one is correct. Minus 2x times x is minus 2x squared. Minus 2 times minus 3 is positive. Minus times positive is minus. Minus times minus is positive. So here we take x to be equal to 3. That is x minus 3 is equal to 0. One of the factors. And we take minus 2x minus 3 equal to 0, minus 2x equal to positive 3, x equal to positive 3 divided by minus 2. So it will be minus 3 on 2. Now, these are not the solutions to the inequality. They are the endpoints. So we draw a straight line and we locate the endpoints. And we are looking at 1 is negative. So we put negative 3 on 2 on the left, 1 is positive, so we put it here. Now, we are going to test the values that will fit into the inequality. What do I mean by what will fit? That will satisfy the inequality. So, we have numbers from here going 4, 5, you have numbers from here going minus 3 on something. So it will go. Now, the best number for you to choose, if you have, is 0. And always you have 0. Whether you have it within the range or you have it outside the range. Whether you have it between the numbers or outside the numbers. So here between minus 3 and 2 and 3, we have 0 here. So let us test 0. You can test 1, you can test 2, you can test negative 1. Negative 1. Because this is negative 1.5. So you can test negative 1. So let's test 0. Where are we going to test the 0? We are going to put 0 into wherever we see x here. So if we put 0 here, this will be 0, this will be 0, and it will be left with 9. And it is true that 9 is greater than 0. Test it like this. Minus 2, 0 squared, plus 3 times 0, plus 9. So this is 0 plus 0 plus 9. That is equal to 9. And 9 is greater than 0. So it means that 0 will satisfy this inequality. So since 0 is between negative 3 on 2 and 3, then any number between these two numbers will also satisfy it. Check it for yourself. Use positive 1 and C. Use positive 2 and C. Any value between this will also satisfy the inequality. So we finished the test. Now, if I stand here, I will go for numbers that will satisfy the inequality. If I stand on 3, I will go for these numbers that will satisfy the inequality. So the solution to this quadratic inequality will be the values at the middle here. And what is the significance of the values at the middle here with reference to the endpoints? The values here are greater than -3 on 2. So x greater than -3 on 2. And the values here are less than 3. So we take x less than 3 because the values here are the x, the variable x. Very simple as that. So the solution to this quadratic inequality is x is greater than -3 on 2, x is less than 3. Now let's take the next example. Now the next example is this one. We have 5x squared minus x plus 7 is less than or equal to 0. Now, for this one, 7 times 5 is 35. We can't do simple factorization. So unless we use completing the square method or we use formula. So let's put x is equal to -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. Here a is 5, b is -1, and c is positive 7. So you have x is equal to -b and b is -1. So you have positive 1 plus or minus square root of b is -1. So -1 squared will give us positive 1 minus 4 times a. A is 5. And then c. Oh, sorry, this is -7, right? And c is also -7, yes. All divided by 2 times 5, correct. I was writing -7, I wrote positive 7. So we have x equal to positive 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 plus, let's use the calculator to do that one first. We have square root of 1 plus 20 times 7, and that will give us square root of 144. So we have square root of 1 plus 20 times 7, that is square root of 141, all divided by 10. So we take the sign in 10. 1 plus square root of 141 divided by 10, or 1 minus square root of 141 divided by 10. You have x to be equal to 1 plus square root of 141 divided by 10 is 1.2874, and this one will be 1 minus square root of 1.1141 divided by 10. That one also will be negative 1.0874. Wow. So these are the x values that we have. So let's put these x values on the number line. So we draw the number line here. We are lucky this is positive, so it will go to the positive side, 1.2874. This is negative, so negative 1.0874. Now, Here, what do we do? Since this is negative and this is positive, there will be 0 at the middle. Very simple as that. So once we have 0 at the middle, we can test. If we put 0 here, this will be 0. 0 here, this will be 0. And I have minus 7. And clearly minus 7 is less than 0. Because here we are taking less than or equal to. So minus 7 is less than 0. So it means that the numbers between this point and this point will satisfy the inequality. Now, you see that the solution to the inequality is these values. It means that if we put these values back into wherever we find x, the expression will be equal to 0. And we have equal to 0 there. So it means that the endpoints are part of the solution. Because we are saying that whether the value that we are going to put here will make this expression less than 0 or equal to 0. So if you put the solution inside, you get 0. So the solution are also parts of the roots are also parts of what you are going to write. So when I stand here, I'll pick numbers from the solution to my right. And if I stand here, I'll pick numbers from the solution to my left. All numbers here are greater. So I will take x greater than or equal to negative 1.0874. And then I'll take x less than or equal to 1.2874. Very, very simple. This is the solution to this quadratic inequality. Now let's take the next example. Now, for the next example, I've done this one. So I'm going to do this one. That is what I have here is 12x squared minus 15x, no, 23x plus 10 is greater than 0. Is greater than 0. So let's look at this one. Now how do we factorize this? 10 times 12 is 120 and 15 times 8 is also 120. So we have 12x squared minus 15x minus 8x plus 10 equal to 0. We have 3x into bracket, 4x minus 3 minus 2 into bracket, this is 5, 2 into bracket x minus 5, 4x minus 5 is equal to 0. We have 3x minus 2 times 4x minus 5 equal to 0. Wow. Yes, that is what we are getting. So here you have 3x minus 2 equal to 0. X will be positive 2 on 3. 4x minus 5 equal to 0. X will be equal to positive 5 on 4. And you can change them to decimal to see which one is greater. Say this 3 is going to share 2, so this one will be small. 4 is sharing 5, so there will be 1 point. So on the number line, this one is smaller, so it will come to the left. This one is bigger, so it will come to the right. But if you want to see the effect, change them to decimal so that you can get numbers between them. So let's change 2 on 3 to decimal. That will give us 0.66. So 0.67 is okay. 5 divided by 4 is 1.25. 1.25. So now we have 0.67 here, which means that 0 is here. 0 is here. Here there is no 0 here. But since you have 0.67, you have not reached 1. So we can find 1 here at the middle. So now, if you want to use 0 to test, it means that you are only looking for the test for this one. That is, if you test and 0 fits, if you stand here, you take numbers going here. But if you test and 0 does not satisfy, if you stand here, you take values here. So let's take 1, very simple for us. That will give us the test for both of them. Because if we use zeros to test, you come and use another value to test for this one too. So 1 will help us. Now let's put in 1. If you put in 1, you have 12 minus 23 plus 10. So let's check that and see. 12 minus 23 plus 10 is negative 1. And negative 1 is less than 0. So values between this will not satisfy the inequality. We test positive 1, it will be 12 minus 23 plus 10, and that will give us negative 1. But we are saying that we need values that will make this expression greater than 0, but this one is less than 0. So it means that values here will not satisfy this inequality. So if I stand on 0.67, I will not go here, but I will go here, because these values will not satisfy. It means these ones will do. If you like, put 0 inside. This will be 0, this will be 0, and 10 will be greater. And if I stand on this one, since 1 doesn't satisfy, all the numbers between will not satisfy, so I'll go to my right. Very simple as that. Here, the endpoints are not included because we don't have greater than or equal to situation. So now what do? If I stand on here, numbers here are less than this. So I'll take x less than 0.67. And if I stand on this, numbers here are greater. So I'll take x greater than 1.25. Wow. Let's go to the next question. So this is the solution to our inequality question. I hope the explanation helps. Now let's take the next one. So we're done with this one too. Now let's take this one. I have 10x squared plus 11x plus 3 is less than or equal to 0. So this one, 3 times 10 is 30, 5 plus 6 is 11. So I have 10x squared plus 5x plus 6x plus 3 is equal to 0. So we take 5x times 2x plus 1 plus 3 out, 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. You have 2x plus 1 times 5x plus 3 equal to 0. I hope you know how to factorize this quadratic expression. Multiply 3 by 10, you get 30. Factors of 30, when you add to get 11 is positive 5 and positive 6. So here positive 5x can divide 10x squared. So 5x will go into 10x squared, 2x. 5x will go into 5x, 1. 3 can go into 6, so you bring 3 out. 3 go into 6x, 2x, 3 go into 3, 1. Then you factorize 2x plus 1 out, and you'll be left with 5x plus 3. So here you take 2x plus 1 equal to 0, x equal to negative 1 on 2. You take 5x plus 3 equal to 0, x equal to negative 3 on 5. Right. So now we draw the number line. This is negative 1 on 2, negative 3 on 5. So if you are not sure which one is greater, just change them to decimals. This will give us minus 0.5. And this will give us minus 0.6. So clearly, this one is greater than this. So here, minus 0.5 will come here, and minus 0.6 will come to the right. Oh, sorry. This one is bigger. This one is bigger. This one is less. So the less will go here. Minus 0.6. Yes, minus 0.5. Because as we move to the left, we move to the smaller numbers. So this is bigger than that. That is from 0, you come to 0.5 before you come here. So this is bigger. Now, what are the values here? Here, we have minus 0.5, minus 0.6. So, what values are between them that you can use to test? So, let me check this. From 0.5, I will go to, let's say, 0.51, 0.52, 0.53, 0.54, 0.55, 0.56, 0.57, 0.58, 0.59. So, I reach 0.6. So, it means that minus 0.51 will be at the middle here. So I can go and use minus 0.51 to go and check. Or, if you can't use this approach, since this is minus 0.6, it means that we've not reached positive 1, sorry, negative 1. So negative 1 is here, negative 2 is here, negative 3 is here. You can use any of them to check only for this. And here too, we've not reached 0. 0 is here. So you can also use 0 to check for this one. So we are going to use that check. So if I put in 0, this will be 0, 0, and I'll have 3. 3 is greater than 0. So if I put in 0, the value that I'll get will not be less. It means that if I stand here, I won't go to this side. I'll come here. And since we have the equal to sign, I'll shade this one. Very simple. Then I'll come to this place. I'm going to use negative 1 to test. So negative 1 squared will be positive 1 times 10 will give me 10. Negative 1 times 11 will give me negative 11 plus 3. And this will give me positive 2. And positive 2 is greater than 0. Wow. Positive 2 is greater than 0. Very simple as that. Now, here too, if I pick a value here, right, the value here will not satisfy the inequality. Very simple as that. So if I stand here, I can't go here. If I stand here, I have to go here. And why have I did this? Because of the equal to sign that I have here. So the solution to the inequality is that all numbers here are greater than this. So I'll take x greater than or equal to minus 0.6. And if I stand on this, all numbers here are less. So I'll take x less than or equal to minus 0.5. I hope these examples have enlightened you. Yes, you can also use the curve to demonstrate that. So with this, let me use the curve. Let me draw the curve. Here we have negative, negative, so it means that our curve will somewhere be here. And that's, we have minus 0.5 and we have minus 0.6. So now, what do we have here? You see that we want values that will be less. We want less than. We want less than. You see that as we move here, as we take x values here, the numbers will go up. You see that the y values will go up. If we take the values here, the y values will go up. The y values will go up. The y values will go up. Have you seen that? The y values will go up. And here too, if you take the values here, the y values will also what? Will go up. And they will be greater than the 0. Very simple as that. So we take the values that are less than the 0, and that is why we are coming to the middle what here. Very simple as that. And why have I drawn this curve downwards? Because the coefficient of x squared is positive. So since it is positive, you are going to get a minimum curve. You are going to get a minimum curve. Now, I think we will take the last example and we will end here, because these explanations have done a lot. I think they've broken every piece of misunderstanding that you were facing. Yes. Now let's take the last one. The last one is I have 2x squared minus 5x plus 3 is greater than or equal to 0. So 3 times 2 is 6, and minus 2 minus 3 is minus 5. So 2x squared minus 2x minus 3x plus 3 is equal to 0. I have 2x into brackets, x minus 1 minus 3 into bracket x minus 1 is equal to 0. I have x minus 1 times 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. X is equal to 1. X is equal to positive 3 on 2. So we draw this straight line. We have 1 and 3 on 2. So 3 on 2 is bigger than 1, because 3 on 2 gives us 1 point. Now, here 0 is at the back of this, and then between this and that, we have only decimals, and 3 on 2 is 1.5. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. So we have 1.1 here, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. So you can use any of them to test. Very simple. But if you can't use any of them, you can use 0 to test for only 1, and you use 2 to test for only this. So I'm going to use 1.1. So let's put 1.1 into this. We have 2 times 1.1 squared minus 5 times 1.1 plus 3. And the answer is negative 0.08. Wow. Negative 0.08. So this one is less than 0. So it means that any value at the middle here will not satisfy the inequality. Very simple as that. So if I stand on 1, I'll go here. I've shaded it because of the equal sign. If I stand on this, I'll go here. So the solution to this inequality is x is less than 1. Yes, x is less than 1. But all the values here are less than 1. And x is greater than 3 on 2. But all the values here are greater than 3 on 2. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.